Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I got mine. So listen, have I ever told you that for about 5 minutes I worked in the corporate arena? I did once upon a time. I took a corporate job as a second job because it wasn't paying as much as my auto worker job. But I took it as a second job because I had my oldest son had just entered college. And if you know, you know. So I took this job, and I got to tell you, it was an office full of white women. The bosses were, a white woman and a white man. And our immediate supervisor was a white man named Mike. And there were all these white women in there. And they were all clicked up. And, the couple of black people that worked in the office, they didn't really say a whole lot to us. I think the only reason why any of the white women really even said anything to me is because I literally, and this is no lie, I outperformed every single person in that office, and it wasn't hard to do. That's just the truth. It wasn't hard to do. All I had to do was just be myself. I handed in more sales than anyone. Outperformed everyone. And at some point I did leave that job because the white women made so much more money than I did, but I was bringing in so much more money than they were. And I understand about time and seniority. Hey, I'm an auto worker, right? I get it. Seniority is everything. But this is not one of those jobs where seniority really mattered that much. It was one of those jobs when what you brought in was how you got promoted and how you made more money. One day I went into the office, I sat down, and I told Mike, I said, I want more money. I got a kid in college, I need more money. The accolades were nice. Hey, that's amazing, your sales, oh my God, all that is nice, but it doesn't pay my bills. But anyway, there was another black woman in the office, a sister, and, she was younger than I was. And she was talking about, white folks, they love their potlucks. I never really participated in potlucks. I'm not a potluck participant, but, I'll take some from my own dish because I know my own self in my kitchen. It's cultural for me. We don't eat everybody's food. We just don't. A lot of people have animals. A lot of people don't wash their hands. I just don't trust a lot of people's kitchens and food. I see how they are at work, stealing other people's food, going into the bathroom, not washing hands. I'm not eating behind any of them folks. So anyway, I made this baked macaroni and cheese with this sister of mine because I think her grandmother had recently passed, and she just had a taste for homemade baked macaroni and cheese, and yeah, I'll do that for you, because she knew that I could cook. I can cook, right? So I made this baked macaroni and cheese, made sure I put extra love in it for her, brought it to the potluck. Now, these white women that barely say 2 words to me, and the only time they really did was because they were jealous of my sales numbers. So it was all that kind of fake shit, and you can't really tell them, stay the fuck out of my face, that kind of thing. But I'm not a fake person, so I wasn't really, in their face like that. And I think that they resented me for that too. I am an introvert. I sat in a desk as far away as I could by myself and did my thing. That's just who I am. So anyway, the boss comes over to me, Mike, and he says, with a big old plate of macaroni and cheese, and he says, "This is the best macaroni and cheese I ever had in my life. In my life." So I said, "Thank you." He said, what did you put in here? What did you do to it?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just an old family recipe." That's just a nice way of saying I'm going to gatekeep the recipe because it's cultural. Well, one of these older white ladies, I forget what her name was. I literally think it was Susan. She was so nasty and so rude. And you knew she was a racist. She was just such a racist. They had so much to say about Obama. This was back in the days, you know. They had so much nasty shit to say about Obama. I was in that office struggling, fighting for me and Obama's lives, man, every single day, you know. But I dealt with it because I had a son in school that needed more help. So anyway, she comes over to my desk and she asked me for the recipe. It was like no greeting, no hi, no how you doing. She asked me for my baked macaroni and cheese recipe. Well, I told her, I said, there's no family recipe. I said, I may want to capitalize off and put it in a cookbook one day, so I won't be sharing. Well, when I tell you I was prime enemy number one after that, this woman felt so entitled to that baked macaroni and cheese. Every single day we came into that office, she talked about this baked macaroni and cheese recipe that I wouldn't give it to her. I got called selfish. I got called arrogant. I got called rude. I got called disrespectful. I got called everything except an amazing cook, which I am. So honestly, none of it never really bothered me. It was actually kind of comical to me that she was that bothered and she felt that entitled. But I tell you this story to say that if I can't do nothing, I can gatekeep Black culture. And I gotta say, with that said, I am so disappointed in so many Black people who are actively teaching white people boots on the line, boots on the floor, line dance, complete with popping, snapping fans. What is wrong with y'all? Can y'all gatekeep nothing? And then on TikTok, of all platforms, did you learn nothing? Did these white folks teach you nothing? It's like another sister over in the room said when we were talking about it over there. Next thing you know, they're going to be making money going on the Tonight Show. I said, sis, you ain't never lied. Because our head in the same place. It's just a dance until they start making more money. It's just a dance until they start getting recognition. It's just a dance until they leave y'all out of it. It's just a dance until they can pay their bills and you can't. With another one of your creations, your talent, your culture. It's just a dance. Right up until they not credit you. Listen, the last thing that white people need to be doing right now is a line dance. They need to be cleaning up this mess that they've made of this country. They need to be cleaning up the mess that the president that they elected is making. They need to be figuring out better ways to be in community with other people that they have marginalized, because the line dance ain't gonna do it. Y'all need to learn how to gatekeep. Y'all need to learn how to stop inviting these people to the cookout. Y'all need to learn how to say no when it comes to them. Y'all need to stop making these pathways for them to take what they feel like are the acceptable, best, better pieces of Black culture, Blackness, and Black people, while actively throwing the rest of those pieces away and vilifying those pieces in the process. Y'all have got to stop. That's all that I have for today. I hope that I gave you something to think about. It's just a dance right up until the disrespect starts. And they have a long track record of doing exactly what I tell you that they are about to do with this dance. And y'all just keep on giving them permission, giving them access to Blackness and Black culture. They got work to do. They don't need to be resting and dancing. If you would like to support the platform, I'll leave my Cash App and Venmo down in the comments. Y'all have a wonderful day.